Well, hello and welcome to day one of the Husband Challenge. We are so excited that you've decided to join us. You know, my mom always told me that if I wanted to enjoy something I valued for a very long time, then the key was to take good care of it, to do regular maintenance. And our marriage is no different. It's important every so often for us to reflect, how can we continue to love our wives as Christ loved the church? And so I'm excited that you've joined us. I'm excited that you're up for this, and I'm hoping that this will be an encouragement to you. Well, today we're talking about what it means to be an initiator. You know, I don't know about you, but I've never really been good at letting people go first. One of my pet peeves is when you're at dinner or supper somewhere and everybody's just looking at each other saying, well, you go first. No, you go first. No, I insist, you go first. I've never been good at just kind of waiting for someone else to go first. I'm kind of sometimes a jump the gun type of guy. Sometimes I speak before I listen or before I think. But you know, something changed when I got married. The young man that was once known for taking initiative and raising his hand and voluntarily involving himself, it was easy to become a little relationally lazy, should I say. But have you been there perhaps as you reflect back on the years you've been married? Well, thankfully, we're not left without an example to follow. You know, in Scripture, the very beginning of Scripture says this, in the beginning, God. I mean, the story of God begins and ends with Him. He's an initiator. And all through the Old Testament, we see God following and pursuing and initiating towards a people that sometimes didn't want a whole lot to do with Him. And then, of course, in the greatest act of love ever, we see, for God so loved the world that He gave, He initiated, He loved us first. And in fact, the Word says that, doesn't it? That we love because He first loved us. See, this type of love that goes first, that initiates, is the love that we're really called to. It's the love that Paul wrote in Ephesians, to love our wives as Christ loved the church. Well, how did Christ love the church? Well, He went first. And so this is the type of love that we're called to. And so I want to encourage you over the next couple days to pray first, to apologize first, to pursue first, to pick up the dish towel first, ultimately to love first. Here's a question. How would your home and your marriage look differently if you went first in these ways without looking for any sort of return or affirmation for what you've done? Well, here's your challenge for today. I want you to think of one area that perhaps your wife often has to, let's just say, remind you to do something. Something that she kind of wishes that you would just take on responsibility for, but you often need reminders for. I know I've got those areas. Well, I want you to think of those areas, and I want you just to do it without her asking. Maybe it's taking initiative with homework with the kids, or maybe it's taking initiative with cleaning around the house. It doesn't have to be chores, but you know what your wife would like you to take more initiative on, and I want you to just do it. You know, also, maybe it's something's not coming to mind, and that's okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. A simple conversation prompt for you to encourage dialogue around this is just to simply ask, hey, love, what is it that you would like me to take more initiative on? I believe she'll have some answers. And I'm going to encourage you, listen well and just do it. Well, guys, that is the challenge for day one. We've got 6 days left, and I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, with God's help, you got this.